This is crazy. He's got the executive orders in a 3-ring binder, and he's walking down to the floor with it. He's gonna sign it in front of the crowd. He is going to make illegal alienship illegal in front of 15 million people, live streamed on his X profile, owned on a platform by Elon Musk. Oh my gosh, bro. Best timeline ever. There's the desk where he's gonna sign it. Dude, this is historic. I might put this at the beginning of the video if you're watching this right now. This is crazy. Be sure to keep watching because I do a full analysis and reaction to him being sworn in. It's very emotional. Shaking hands of maidens, going to sit down to enforce objective parameters. This has never happened before.
Thank you, sir.
I'm tweeting about this.
This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.
Yo, that was savage. That was so savage. That was so savage. We're on Donald Trump's live stream. Guys, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
This is the most important day in human history. This is the most important day of my lifetime. This is the most important day of your lifetime. This is the most important day since Christ. God ordained this. We've been through so much. They tried to destroy humanity. They tried to end civilization.
Please welcome the chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Lord, please protect them.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 60th presidential inauguration. Today, President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy.
Degenerate femininity will never be the same. I just tweeted that.
For the past year, I've chaired the inaugural ceremony committee, which includes the leadership of Congress from both parties. We thank the committee and Capitol staff and law enforcement who worked so hard over the last year, and especially the last 3 days. You've done a beautiful job, and you have shown grace under pressure. Our theme this year is our enduring democracy. The presence of so many presidents and vice presidents here today is truly a testament to that endurance.
Hillary Clinton's there.
We welcome President Biden and Dr. Biden. We welcome Vice President Harris and Doug Emhoff, President Obama,
Look at
President
Harris.
Clinton and Secretary Clinton,
gosh.
President
Oh my
Bush
gosh.
and Laura Bush,
Oh my gosh.
Vice President Pence, Vice President Quayle and Marilyn Quayle. The justices of the United States
We're gonna keep this
Supreme
professional.
Court are with us, all 9 of them, I counted, and of course, the Trump and Vance families. This ceremony marks what will soon be 250 years of our democracy. It is the moment when leaders, elevated by the will of the people, promise to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, the guardians of our country. Through war and peace, through adversity and prosperity.
The left is not guardians of democracy, and that's the reason Trump's elected. And even here, you can hear the psychopathic tone of the degenerate feminine psyche.
A reminder that we must strive to uphold the values enshrined in our Constitution.
This is why
the freedoms,
we won.
The liberties, and as is inscribed on the entrance of the United States Supreme Court, equal justice under law. But what makes this moment more than a passing ceremony is all who are watching it across the country, the people of this nation, the ordinary people doing extraordinary things. President Kennedy, who at one point worked as a senator in this building and would often walk through this very rotunda, once said, "In a democracy, every citizen, regardless of interest in politics, holds office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility. With that responsibility of citizenship comes an obligation not to seek out malice, as President Lincoln once reminded us, but to view others with a generosity of spirit, despite our differences."
They're so afraid. They're so afraid of the inevitable consequences which will come crashing down upon them. The psychopath is afraid.
We must and find common ground when we can. With everything swirling around us, the hot mess of division, it is on all of us, to quote an incredible songwriter who just happened to be born in my state, to ensure that our nation's democracy is our shelter from the storm. There's a reason this ceremony takes place at the Capitol. In other countries, it might be in a presidential palace or a gilded executive office building. Here it is traditionally held at the Capitol, the People's House. It is a fitting reminder of the system of checks and balances that is the very foundation of our government. 3 equal branches of government. That is how, for nearly 250 years, our great American experiment, grounded in the rule of law, has endured. So, as we inaugurate a new president and vice president, let us remember that the power of those in this room comes from the people. The construction workers who build our country, the teachers and healthcare workers who nurture us, the troops defending our freedoms, and yes, the firefighters in Los Angeles putting themselves on the line for us.
Bro, you can tell this script was written last week. The firefighters are not currently in mortal danger.
Our democracy's strength and grit must match theirs. May God bless our nation.
What a disgrace to be talking about the firefighters on a day like this. It's not about them. This is about Trump and the left. And America. Look at the psychopathic snakes.
Good afternoon. Endurance through the years is the ultimate test. To persevere through time is the truest measure of an idea, an institution, and a nation. Our founders wrote the Constitution so that America...
How many degenerate women are we going to have come up and beg Donald Trump not to enforce consequences on them for their radical psychopathy? How many? Is Kamala Harris going to get up next?
Liberty and the pursuit of happiness. But as much as the truths and principles enshrined in our Constitution remain the same, our democracy promises the American people the power to change, to chart their own destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance.
Trump did it. We're
of
going to do it. You can do it too. You just have to knuckle down, prepare to work, prepare to be shot at. And when you're shot at, instead of falling over and crying and hiding like a girl, stand up and say, fight, fight, fight.
Our United
That's the moment
States,
when God decided to give him the presidency. I knew from there that he would become the 47th president of the United States. And here he is, about to be sworn into the most powerful
to our founding
on the planet. This is a lesson for all of you at home. Life is actually extremely simple. It's cause and effect,
like all the
and
others
reaction.
before it. It is a celebration of our right to set our uniquely American course. The past several years
These women all hate America. They tried to destroy it. They want to abolish the Constitution. They hate free speech. They colluded with the federal government. They've colluded with big tech to censor people in violation of the First Amendment. Today, Joe Biden pardoned Fauci, someone who killed hundreds of thousands of people psychopathically, ordering them not to see their dying family. They know what they did. They know their consequences are coming. They know the American people judge them, and they're still, like the snakes they are, no, we didn't do it. No, we didn't do it. It's like demons. They're like demons.
But also the simple right and wisdom of a free people to make their own choice so that their nation might endure.
Trump is like, bro, get this woman off stage so I can fix our country.
Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation. Please rise.
Be still and know that I am God, supreme among the nations, supreme on the earth. Let us pray. Remembering General George Washington on his knees at Valley Forge, recalling Abraham Lincoln at his second inaugural, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Remembering General George Patton's instructions to his soldiers as they began the Battle of the Bulge 8 decades ago. Pray. Pray when fighting. Pray alone. Pray with others. Pray by night. Pray by day. Observing the birthday of the Reverend Martin Luther King, who warned, without God, our efforts turn to ashes. We, blessed citizens of this one nation under God, humbled by our claim that in God we trust, gather indeed this Inauguration Day to pray for our President Donald J. Trump, his family, his advisors, his cabinet, his aspirations, his vice president, for the Lord's blessings upon Joseph Biden, for our men and women in uniform, for each other whose hopes are stoked this new year, this Inauguration Day. We cannot err in relying upon that prayer from the Bible, upon which our president will soon place his hand in oath, as we make our own the supplications of King Solomon for wisdom as he began his governance. God of our fathers, in your wisdom you set man to govern your creatures, to govern in holiness and justice, to render justice with integrity. Give our leader wisdom, for he is your servant, aware of his own weakness and brevity of life. If wisdom which comes not from you be not with him, he shall be held in no esteem. Send wisdom from heavens that she may be with him, that he may know your designs. Please, God, bless America. Please, mend her every flaw. You are the God in whom we trust, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, there are times I'm sure you thought it was pretty dark. But look what God has done. We praise him and give him glory.
It's true. What I love there is looking at the demonic face of Kamala. That's interesting.
Our Father and our God, thou hast said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. As the prophet Daniel prayed, blessed be the name of God forever and ever. For wisdom and might
Joe Biden, I love all the degenerate women.
changes the times.
They're so fucking broken.
He removes kings. He raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. Our Father, today, as President Donald J. Trump takes the oath of office once again, we come to say thank you, O Lord our God. Father, when Donald Trump's enemies thought he was down and out, you and you alone saved his life and raised him up with strength and power by your mighty hand.
There's Jake Paul
We
and
pray
Logan
for
Paul.
President Trump.
Jake and Logan Paul are in the rotunda. That's crazy.
Give him your wisdom from your throne on high. We ask that you would bless him
Yes.
and that our
Yes.
nation would be blessed.
Obama's there. Yes.
We also ask that you would bless and protect Melania as First Lady. We thank you for the beauty, the warmth, and grace that she shows not only to this nation, but to the whole world. We thank you for Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife Usha and their young family. May he be a strength to President Trump, to stand beside him, to hold up his arms like Aaron held up the arms of Moses in the midst of battle. The prophet Samuel reminded the people, it was you that brought them up from the land of Egypt. And he said, now stand still, that I may reason with you before the Lord. So, Father, we take this moment to stand still, to remember the great things that you have done for this nation. Thank you for the protection, the bounty, the freedoms that we so enjoy. We remember to keep our eyes fixed on you, and may our hearts be inclined to your voice. We know that America can never be great again if we turn our backs on you. We ask for your help, and we pray all of this in the name of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, your Son, my Savior, and our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Justice Kavanaugh to
Is Christianity back or what? Oh, let's go. So epic. So amazing. So many demons forced to listen to the word of God. Oh man, this day was ordained, clearly. To my children who are watching this one day, you have no idea how hard I fought for this.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
Look at that.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
The CEOs are behind Trump. I don't even want to say too much. Everyone in the world is watching. It's the most important day in 2000
Please
years.
raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It's a new day! It's a new day! I've thought about this day thousands of times, wondering if it could be possible. If God would have this much mercy on us. Guys, Donald John Trump is the President of the United States. Celebration in the faces of demonic people. Glory, hallelujah. It's a Navy. Dude, look how happy they are. They're all beaming. The Navy's happy. They're so happy. We're all so happy. That's Theo Vaughn! Theo Vaughn's there. Let's see Charlie Kirk. Or Elon.
Christ was born across the sea with our glory.
Guys, this video's not ending anytime soon. There's still going to be a parade to the White House, which we're all going to watch. Believe me, I'm not ending this video soon. We're going to watch the parade.
As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free while God is marching
Bro, billionaires are there. CEO of Apple, CEO of Microsoft, CEO of Facebook. All the people that are forced to listen to the will of the American people. Trump's still going to deliver remarks. He's going to deliver remarks outside.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
It's been so hard. It's been so hard.
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the
What if he said you're all fired?
United States Supreme Court,
You're all fired.
President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now.
That's right.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world.
That's right.
We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
That's right. No more enemies within our own walls, sending trillions of dollars to shitholes.
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced.
Yes.
The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
Yes! Saying it to their face. You demonic snakes.
And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
Yes. Despite those who want us to fail, we will save America.
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever
You guys understand,
before.
Trump could say anything right now. Anything he wants. No one can do anything. No one can stop him.
I return
No one
to
can...
the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success.
Yes.
A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before.
Yes. Oh,
but first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America.
Yes.
As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad.
That's right.
It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens.
That's right.
But provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions.
That's right.
That have illegally entered our country
And
from
no
all
one
over
can
the world.
Stop him from saying these
We have a
truths.
government that has given unlimited funding to
Because
the
we
defense of
said
foreign
so.
borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
He's calling the left out over and over again.
And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them.
It's all over
All of this will change starting today. And it will change very quickly.
It's so glorious.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
And he's saying it to their face because they know what they've done.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government.
Thank you.
Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history.
Yes, you have.
And I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you.
Wow.
Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
Yes, it is.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women,
despite
African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states.
Things have shifted.
And the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
Yes. Yes, we did.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
Kamala is not standing, but everyone else is. I love this. I love it. Oh, look, only the losers aren't standing.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution.
Yes.
And we will not forget our God.
Yes.
Can't do that. Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense.
Thank you,
it's
God.
all about common sense.
Thank you, God.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
Yes. Yes. That's so important. Yes. Yes. Yes! And everyone's standing! They're all standing! Besides Carmel, they're all standing!
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Yes. Yes, we will.
We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release.
Yes.
And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
You see how quiet the got for a second when he said troops? Because he could do whatever he wants.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yes! Oh my gosh, you're not ready. SEAL Team 6 is coming for you. They're coming for you. Delta Force, they're coming for you. Let's go.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Yes. Yes. You realize how much the left
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no
civilization.
higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will
Like,
do
you
it
see
at
how
a
much
level
the
that
left
nobody's
failed.
ever seen before.
They hate America. They
Next,
hate us.
I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Like, everything he's saying was created by the left.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
And you can see the psychopaths the previous presidents, their wives, they're the ones who can't stand this. But America's behind them. Everyone loves what he's saying besides them. Everyone.
America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it.
Yes.
Let me use it.
Yes.
We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again right to the top, and export American energy all over the world.
Yes. Yes. There's Vivek right back there.
We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
Yes! I can actually buy a gas-powered truck in the future. Thank you. A gas-powered Jeep. Thank you. No one wants an electric Lamborghini. What the fuck?
In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury.
Hundreds of billions!
Coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before.
Yes.
To restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government, my administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah! Elon Musk is going to be the boss of every federal employee! Justify yourself now, you DEI
After
hire.
years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
That's you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. My videos are so fucking censored, bro. I've been doing this for 2 years, and oh my gosh. Thank you. And the CEOs of Google
Never
are standing
again
right behind
will
them.
the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents.
And that's exactly what Biden
Something
did.
I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
That's right. America stood up and said no. Everyone who voted for
And we
Trump,
are going to bring
Thank you.
law and order back to our cities.
Yes.
This week,
Yes.
I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life.
Good. Yes. In Marxism, in the satanic resentment.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Yes. Yes. Reject the
As of
racist
today,
left.
it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders,
Yes.
male and female.
Yes. Yes. Reality wins. Look at everyone standing. They're all standing and applauding. Everybody.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's a Marine for sure. You can tell. And look, the
And I
Marine's
will
standing behind
sign
him.
an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
God damn right. Thank you. Oh, so good.
Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies. Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
That's so cool. He said the battles we win. Meaning there will be battles. That's so epic. Not just by the battles we will win, he said. And the left has to sit there and watch as America presides over
My
them.
proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
That's so good. That's so good. That's amazing. I always thought the Gulf of Mexico was why? Why did we give that to them?
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made.
It should be ours.
And Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Let's go. Let's go. We're taking it back, he said. That's a declaration. Dana White, oh, let's go.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
Yes. Yes. That's amazing. There's Elon. Let's go. Yes. The heroes of Earth have
Ambition
assembled.
is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve.
That's right.
Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best.
The resentful Kamala and Biden can't stand this because he's the true embodiment
From New York
of
to
merit.
Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride.
That's right.
Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism.
Yes!
And triumphed over every single challenge that they faced.
Yes.
After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We are going to win like never before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly.
Yes, thank
and
you.
nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours.
That's right.
And our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Is Kamala not applauding? I can't tell. I don't think she is.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and Carrie Underwood.
Is that Elon? Yeah, it's Elon right behind Trump. Oh, it's so fucking great. Let me get a picture of that. Elon's talking to the CEO of Google, by the way. That's the CEO of Google. Standing right next to him.
If you know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful
Acapella.
for spacious
That's great.
skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple
That's so cool.
mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Bro, you can look at Calvo's face right now compared to the beautiful blonde. It's so great. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And she went off acapella too. That was great. I'm going to remember that. That was so great.
Content
Here we go.
of our character. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today that you will use our 47th president.
Yeah.
So we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual, free at last. Free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
Kamala Harris didn't want to clap. Oh my gosh, we've defeated snakes. We've defeated truly evil ones. What a great thing by him. That's so great. I love that guy.
Standing for our national anthem.
Can you say, o'er the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose blood stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket had gleamed, heavens bursting in earth, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors at first taken silent way. I
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain at your seats while the President and official party depart the platform.
because the tension on their faces, at times, some of the smirking that was going on by former President Biden and former Vice President Harris was so obvious, having to listen to now President Trump deliver a litany of his perceived failures of the last 4 years. He said this: America's decline is over. And so I just thought the kind of snapshot of that moment, the juxtaposition of that moment of the rhetoric delivered by Trump, the body language of Biden and Harris, was just something we had to acknowledge. And I think a lot of people did acknowledge that. But some news was made, like I said, Stephanie, in that speech. This was somewhat of a campaign rally speech dressed up as an inaugural address. You heard there, if you watched the campaign last year and so many of his rally speeches, that he said what he was going to do. He said those campaign promises will become reality. And 2 national emergencies were declared, one there on the southern border, also one having to do with our energy independence as well. So it's not every day that in an inaugural address, the president declares 2, let alone 1, national disaster emergencies. He said he's shutting down the southern border completely. He's designating the Mexican drug cartels, he said, as foreign terror organizations. So this was a speech replete with news for those of us who cover the news. And I just thought it was really, really interesting. He started this off by saying the scales of justice will be rebalanced. He brought that up multiple times, an allusion to the lawfare that has been waged against him in the form of these 4 criminal indictments he faced in 4 separate jurisdictions. He noted there the alleged weaponization of the Department of Justice. And then he made it an edict in that speech that the national government, the U.S. government, will only recognize 2 genders, male and female. Of course, transgender issues were front and center during the campaign election season here. So I just thought those were some of the notes that I jotted down during this speech. It was full of news, but it was also Trump making good, or at least saying he will make good, on those campaign promises he made at rally speech after rally speech after rally speech.
Yes, and, you know, it's interesting to note, Andrew, that, you know, what he was sharing is news, but not surprising news. He has been, you know, making these promises to the American public, you know, time and time again. And so, you know, something that I, you know, wrote down myself was, quote, America's decline is over. And you're right, it did sound like one of those campaign rallies that he has held so many times, outlining the promises that he intends to keep for the American people. In fact, and we've been talking about this, is signing the executive orders in just a matter of hours, 200 right now or so. It's going to be a very busy day, but absolutely interesting to see all of that right here as we continue to take a live look here inside the Capitol Rotunda as people are now exiting. And so we also see the outside as well, as we do know that there is going to be a farewell ceremony for Biden and Harris, now the former president and former vice president. But, you know, you were mentioning the social dynamics of all of this, Andrew, and it was interesting because I was keeping a very close eye on the facial expressions and the demeanor. Of course, everyone in this room, you know, extremely professional. But there were moments when you saw that perhaps the political facade slip as President Trump was talking and sharing his thoughts on where America stands and where he wants to bring it to in the next 4 years. And, you know, you were mentioning the smirks that we were seeing. We were also, you know, noticing who is standing and who is not standing for the standing ovations as President Trump was outlining his vision for the next 4 years. So something, no doubt, that we are going to be discussing in the coming coming hours and in the coming days, as it does look like this is going to be at least the very start of the farewell ceremony right here. This is the departure ceremony for former President Biden and Vice President Harris. And so we're going to listen in and see what we can hear.
Trump's walking in front of Biden. This is so cool. So cool. Bye, Biden. Go to your old person home. People are saying back to the basement, Joe. That's funny. Back to the basement, Joe. They're waving goodbye. They're waving goodbye. The masculine confident men of Earth are waving goodbye.
And we are watching Marine One depart from the U.S. Capitol as former President Biden and former First Lady Jill Biden embarked on that next journey. And in fact, I did want to share this live look with you. This is Air Force One right here, there on the tarmac. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump waving goodbye alongside Vice President Vance and Yusha Vance right there. And now a new era is ushered in to Capitol Hill, to Washington, D.C. This is a live look right here at Emancipation Hall, and this is where President Trump is expected to speak to this overflow crowd. Of course, hundreds of thousands of people coming to Washington, D.C. to witness history being made, the frigid temperatures forcing the plan to change. The swearing-in ceremony held inside the Capitol Rotunda, where just about 600 or so people were able to get inside. This is the overflow area inside the Capitol. This is Emancipation Hall, and the hundreds of people attending were able to witness the inauguration on a live video screen. We are expecting President Trump to address this crowd momentarily. As you can see, the podium with the presidential seal right there. And it's going to be a very busy day, Andrew, as after this,
Trump's about to
President Trump will be heading to the signing room for a ceremony there.
Trump's about to give remarks in this overflow room. You can see some famous people that are there. I see Logan Paul. I see some other people. I'm going to continue to record because this is incredible. The parade is still going to happen.
And so you see some of these members that we have seen throughout the course of the day. And so this is the reality of why you could not have the inauguration outside. They're trying to jam-pack as many people in as possible.
Let's see what CNN is doing. I want to watch them melt down. I just want to see them struggle to cope with America winning. I'm just going to type CNN. No coverage. Comments turned off. Classic. Oh, so classic. B-roll. Okay. They're having a bad one over there at CNN.
Pleasure, my great honor, to introduce to you the man who will lead us to this new golden age, the decisive winner of the Electoral College and the popular vote, the 45th and the 47th, and the greatest president of our lifetimes, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. And was that a hell of a speech or what? That was, man. That was a good way to start it off. You know, I didn't know exactly what the president would put in that speech, and I hoped to myself that he wasn't going to hold back, and sir, you didn't hold back. That was a hell of a way to start the next 4 years. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, and I know I speak for the president and for all of us, thank you, thank you, thank you for making this possible. We love you. We wouldn't be here without you, and we're going to make America great again together for the next 4 years. And the last thing I'll say is, you know, having stood outside for about 5 minutes to wave goodbye to the Bidens, thank God we moved that thing indoors because it was a beautiful ceremony and it was cold as hell outside. So, sir, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
No, he's right. I looked, I said, oh, look at this beautiful sunny day. We blew it. And then I went outside and we were freezing. You would have been very unhappy. The sun was very deceptive, I will tell you. It is cold out. And I'm sort of saying, you know, that was so beautiful today. Maybe they should do it there every 4 years. Does that make sense? I don't know. Because, you know, the outdoor thing is really good, but it gets a little cold around this time of the year, as some people have noticed. And a lot of times they suffer through it. There was no suffering in that room. It was 72 degrees. It was perfect with the best acoustics I think I've ever heard in a room. This is not so bad either. But I just want to say, you're a younger, far more beautiful audience that I just spoke to. And I want to keep it off the record. I want to keep that off the record because I don't want to have all those big shots up there. I don't want to think you're more powerful than them, you look better than them, and I love you. Now, we just had a great time. We just had a great day. This was amazing. You know, when you think we took a journey, I mentioned in the speech, a lot of people said that was not a journey that was possible, and it was indeed possible. I didn't really know too much about what they were saying when they said that, but a lot of people felt it. And we hooked up with J.D. very early. I watched J.D. over a period of time. I endorsed him in Ohio. He was a great senator and very, very smart. The only one smarter than him was his wife. That was, I would have chosen her, but somehow the line of succession didn't work that way, right? But now she's great and he's great. This is a great, beautiful couple and unbelievable career. I just said to him, you are very upwardly mobile, because he hasn't been doing it that long, but he picked it up so quickly. Remember, the first week was a little bit like the fake news was hitting him really hard. And I said, ooh, this may be tough, but after that, it was smooth sailing for him. He took on everybody. He took on the meanest. I don't want to use the word corrupt because we're into a new system, so let's wait till the corruption begins, because it will. But he took on some pretty mean people, and he handled it well. I want to also congratulate Mike Johnson for the job that he's doing. Steve, we gave him a majority of almost nothing, and then I said to make it tougher on him, let me take 2 or 3 of the people, right? I said he'll only have to suffer with that for about 3 months. How are they doing, by the way? Are they? Is that moving along?
Totally unified.
I said, do you mind if I take this one, that one, and a couple of others? He didn't mind. He can handle it. No, he's a man that's liked by everybody. I've never met a man like this. You've got how many is it, 219 or 220 or something? 220. And of the 220, 219 really like him. I noticed he got 1 negative vote once about 2 weeks ago. But I think even 220 like him, if you want to know the truth. And that's very unusual. I know a lot of nice guys in Congress, and they have 35 people that hate him. So if you have 35 people that hate you and you only have 1 or 2 or 3 votes, you'll have 5, I think. But that's going to be like, you know, the good news is when we get to that 5 number, it's going to feel like a massive majority. You could be really nasty to a couple of them at least, you know? So it's going to feel like hitting your head on the wall and stopping. It feels so good to stop. But he's done a fantastic job. And Steve Scalise is, he's our hero because, you know, I was with him. You talk about being shot. I was with him. He got some bad ones, and his incredible wife, and she really loves him. You know, you never know about that. I've been with other people. They were doing poorly, and the wife is like looking at a watch. She can't get out of the hospital fast enough. How's he doing? Oh, I don't know. He's all right. That woman was a mess. She was crying and crying. No, they're going to take him. They're going to take him. I told Steve when he finally woke up, it was a while too. The doctor told me it was the most blood they've ever transfused in any patient. They've never done anything like it. And here he is, the picture of strength, right? And he's been a great friend of mine, right? With a family, because of a family. And what a job you did. It worked out pretty much better than we even thought, right? And I did have a couple of things, you know, to say that were extremely controversial. And between J.D. and Melania and anybody else that heard, please, sir, it's such a beautiful unifying speech. Please, sir, don't say these things. I said, I'm telling you, it's going to play great. They say, you're right. For this group of people, it's going to play great. You're the only ones I hurt by not, oh, but we had some beauties, didn't we, Melania? She said, sir. Calls me sir when she's angry. No, I'm only kidding. I better say I'm only kidding, or the press is going to pick that one up loud and clear. No, but hilarious. She said,
she's
no, I think it would be terrible. It's such a nice speech. I think it's, it all depends on your delivery. How was the delivery? Was it good? But she said it's such a beautiful speech. You can't put things in there that you were going to put in. And I was going to talk about the J6 hostages, but you'll be happy because, it's action, not words that count. And you're going to see a lot of action on the J6 hostages. See a lot of action. And I was going to talk about the things that Joe did today with the pardons of people that were very, very guilty of very bad crimes, like the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs, where they literally, what they did is they destroyed and deleted all of the information, all of the hearings, practically not a thing left. They deleted all the information on Nancy Pelosi having turned down the offer of 10,000 soldiers. You wouldn't have needed 10,000, you could have had 500, and it would have stopped. Because we may have had 1 million people that day, the people that were there. You don't see any photographs, but we have a lot of great photos. But you don't see those photographs. They don't put them in. They show the people at the Capitol. But I was talking about that. I was going to talk about that. They said, please don't bring that up right now. You can bring it up tomorrow. I said, how about now in front of the I'll bring it up right now. This little time delay is good because we're getting great reviews on the speech. Now watch. They'll take the speech and say, I didn't like it because he left there and he's talked to people. But we're giving you a little more information than we gave upstairs. But no, they pardoned a lot of people. They pardoned, before we even get to today, they pardoned, 33 murderers, absolute murderers, the worst murderers. When you get the death sentence in the United States, you have to be bad, because they don't give it much. And he pardoned almost everybody having a death sentence. And if you went through the crimes that were committed, you wouldn't even believe them. The level of violence, the people that were killed, the innocence of people that were killed, and children killed by these people. And he pardoned them for whatever reason. He spared them, but they didn't spare the people that they killed. And who knows what happens in the future. It's one of the worst, because a lot of times they let them out early after that. They say you're going to be in for life, but then all of a sudden they get let out for good behavior, and then they go on a rampage. It's one of those little things, right? But I was going to talk about that. But I was really going to talk about the level of, what's going on. Why are we doing this? Why are we trying to help a guy like Milley? Why are we doing Milley? He was pardoned. What he said, terrible what he said. Why are we helping some of the people? Right. Why are we helping Liz Cheney? Liz Cheney is a disaster. She's a crying lunatic.
I've been saying this last couple of days, the left is actually just an anti-reality cult. They're purely demonic, and they exist only to do warfare and be in opposition with truth itself, because it judges them as individuals where they must take accountability. And so the left is functionally demonic.
Of not going to war with everybody. Let's kill everybody. Let's spend a lot of money on military equipment. Where her father works, right? And but what she did was incredible. Think of it. They destroyed and deleted all of that information that went on for almost 2 years against Trump. And the reason they did, because it was all false. Like the person that said, I tried to strangle a Secret Service agent. That's one of the toughest human beings I think I've ever seen. I actually had a friend saying, please don't change that, sir. You are the coolest sucker in history. Remember, she said, I put my hands around his neck because he wouldn't go to the Capitol. Made up fiction. And I was rebuffed. And the guy on the right is a massive weightlifter, probably stronger than me. Do you think he's stronger than me, honey? You know who I'm talking. Possibly stronger than me. Slightly younger than me, like, I won't say how many years, because I don't want to talk about that, but a lot of years. But I had a friend that said, why are you disputing that story? That's the coolest story I've ever heard. That I would attack a karate champion, get slightly rebuffed, and then throw my arms around a guy with a neck about this big. Even though there are bars, you know, there are bars, you can't really do that anyway. So I wanted to talk about that. But all of that stuff got deleted. And the reason it got deleted is they were all caught in lies. You know, Secret Service testified, and they said it didn't happen. Actually, the two guys were very embarrassed. They're suffering because their friends are saying, did Trump really do that to you? But they gained a whole new respect for me. But it was just make-believe stuff, and there were a lot of make-believe stories made up.
That's what the left does.
So rather than suffer the wrath, like the story with Nancy Pelosi, I offered her 10,000 soldiers. She knows it. She admitted it on tape that her daughter made. She's a videographer or whatever you call her, which I'm glad she is. Oh, she can't be in good stead with Nancy. But Nancy said it was my responsibility as she's leaving the Capitol. She said it was, and it was. She's in charge of security at the Capitol. But I offered them up to 10,000 soldiers, even more. One time I said more, as many as you need. But you needed 400 or 500. If 4 or 5, you 10,000, that would be more than the number of people there by lot. But we offered her 10,000. Think of it, 10,000 soldiers. In other words, J6 wouldn't be J6. There would have been no J6. But she rebuffed them. She didn't like it. No, she didn't like it. Maybe she wanted that to happen. But she's guilty as hell. And now we would have to go through the process because they destroyed all evidence. They deleted everything. There's virtually nothing left. The other fake story and so many other fake stories. And many people came out on our side. And those people now would got to find them. There's nothing left. So that's a criminal offense. If that were a civil case, it would be a criminal offense. If that happened civilly where you did that, it would be a criminal offense. So I decided I'm not going to make this speech complicated. I'm going to make it beautiful. I'm going to make it a unifying speech. And then when they said we have a group of people that are serious Trump fans, I said, this is the time to tell those stories. He knows. So anyway, but seriously, I'd like to, I think it was a tremendous success. I think we're very lucky we put it inside because it is really cold. We just went to the helicopter out of respect. It's something that's taken place for a long time. I guess it's as old as helicopters. You used to get into a stagecoach, now you get into a helicopter. Times change. But it's pretty old custom. And it's a beautiful custom, actually. It's a beautiful custom. I wish we could have had a better relationship. I wish we could have had a better relationship between Republicans and Democrats. I was with Senator Schumer. I said, Chuck, I think it's time we all start getting along a little bit because it doesn't make sense. I mean, we literally never get a Democrat vote. They never get a Republican vote, almost. And although there is a bill coming up very shortly that we have a lot of Democrat votes, right? It's going to be a very beautiful bill. We're going to have a deciding, I would say, within a week or so, I think. And it's going to be a very good bill. You all know what I'm talking about. So I just want to thank you all for being here. You have been our fans from day one. All these people all over. You've been our fans. This has there's never been anything like it. There's never been anything like it. This has been a movement like no movement ever in history for probably any country, let alone this country. You know, if somebody's running for president, and if they go out and they announce they're going to Arizona, they're going to Nevada, they're going to someplace, if you have 200 or 300 people, that would be standard. Ronald Reagan would go out. I mean, outside of the last couple of days where people get a little excited, but even then you have a couple of thousand people. But if you're going to go someplace, any place, any one of the swing states, any one of the other states, I mean, how about the non-swing states? We won Alabama by 48 points. Nobody's ever seen numbers like that. And, you know, places like California, we did great, but when they send out like 38 million ballots and nobody knows where the hell they're sending them, and then they come pouring back, the whole thing. You know, they passed a law in California that if you work in an election bureau and if you so much as ask for a voter ID, if you say, sir, ma'am, could I please look at your voter ID? They have the right to put you in jail. You're a criminal. Can you believe that? There's only one reason that happens. They want to cheat. So they had it where voter ID wasn't accepted. But now if you even ask for it, this is seriously a bill that was just signed, passed in their legislature, and it was signed. And I think when we get things cleaned up and we get back to beautiful, could have been a T-shape, Y-shape. I love construction. I wanted that sucker to go up maybe 50, 60 feet. It would have looked beautiful, a nice Y shape. And they said, the problem is, sir, they climbed that like a rabbit. I said, what do you mean? No way. And they brought some of these guys out. They climbed it like... And the other thing is you hit it with acid and the thing will disintegrate. You know, they have things for concrete. So they needed very hardened steel, very special steel. And then they needed 7,000-pound concrete inside that steel, inside that steel. And then they have a rebar that's the toughest steel made. Very hard to cut. So this is why very little is cut. I mean, it's right. And then they put a anti-climb panel on top. I hated it. I said, it's so unattractive. I mean, they got like 60, 70 pounds of drug, and they go as fast as you can walk. They go bip, bip, bip. Or we have Mount Everest-type climbers. And honestly, the drug guys were much better. I couldn't believe it. The drug guys blew them away, right? But it's true, the anti-climb panel, they couldn't get around it. They just couldn't. You didn't have it. So sometimes you sacrifice beauty for efficiency, and we did. So we built this wall, and we built over 500 miles of wall. That's why we had such good numbers. The famous chart that came down, very thankfully, the chart that came down on my right, Governor. Had I not looked over there, I'm not speaking right now. You might be speaking here. You want to know the truth? You, JD, and we've got a lot of great people in this party, but I got very lucky, but we had the best numbers we've ever had. But I bought, you know what happens is when you fill it up, it's like water. You fill it up. Now we have 571 miles of wall. And they would always say, you know, when we renovated a wall, so there'd be like a piece of plywood sitting there for 60 years, or a 2x4 sitting for 60 years on the ground and rotting. Because, you know, and they'll say, you didn't build a new wall. Here we're building 50 feet up in the air, 30 feet sections, 50-foot sections, all steel, all concrete, all everything. And all, by the way, they don't even want me to say this, but what the hell, it doesn't take that long time. They're all wired for all of the equipment. We put wires in everything so they can easily wire for all the different types of equipment. And if there's a doubt, we have to wire. Whenever we just look, you just find the wires all over the place up top, so we can just hook it up. We don't have to have wires on the outside, which wouldn't do too well, right? So anyway, so we built an extra 200 miles of wall, and the governor wanted to buy it. He tried to buy it, and they wouldn't sell it to him. He wanted to put it up himself. Could have been done in 3 to 4 weeks, 200 more miles, because when you do it now, they just keep going further out, further out, further out, getting around. So we did an extra 200 miles, and it was all bought. And they announced that they're not going to put it up. And that's when I realized they wanted open borders, and that's when I realized that people are going to come pouring through the wall like nobody's ever seen before. But you've seen it. A lot of you are here because of that. I made it my #1 issue. They all said inflation was the #1 issue. I said I disagree. I think people coming into our country from prison.
Advance from Donald Trump coming up here in just moments. We are also...
All right, guys, so I found the schedule so that we know what's going on. They are at lunch right now. He just signed some documents. After this, he's going to inspect the troops, and then he will, because he's obviously the highest ranking officer in the chain of command for the military, and then there's going to be the parade, and that's what I'm excited for. Oval Office signing ceremony at the White House is after that, and yep, it's just beginning. So epic. All right.
On another, secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. and we're going to take Doge to Mars.
This is so good. Bro, imagine being a leftist in 2025.
Can you imagine
So embarrassing.
how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Bam!
That's
Yeah!
epic, bro. Yes. Agreed. I gotta see that again.
Flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Bam!
Yes.
Yeah! How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. And I love you guys. So,
Dude, we're so back. We're reaching levels of back this previous.
and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys.
Oh, that's so
really
great.
will.
Wait, that was
Guys.
so endearing. Wait, oh my gosh, that was so great. Bro.
I really will.
Oh my gosh.
I really will.
What a good man. What a great man. One more time.
I really will.
Dude,
I really will. So
what a great man.
And yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's going to be very exciting. As the president said, we're going to have a golden age. It's going to be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism. And this feeling like we're gonna make the future good.
Yes.
We're gonna make it good.
Yes. That's right. Because we believe in good. We believe that right and wrong exist, whereas the left just well, we defeated them.
Man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic.
Oh, it's so great.
Thank you again, and yeah, I'm just so fantastic.
Bro, Elon's literally ecstatic, bro.
Man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord, for letting me live in this timeline, bro. Oh my gosh. Reality's been saved. Literally, reality has been saved. It's beyond words. Actually, beyond words. Human civilization would not have succeeded if we didn't have this win. This is the most amount of evidence God is good I've ever seen. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's the Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Army. That's pretty cool.
Order!
10 million people are watching this.
Order! Order!
That's like 30 stadiums, like large stadiums, 30 large stadiums. Maybe 40 large stadiums. Just on this stream alone.
Sir, this includes first time.
More on TV, more on other channels. I mean, probably 100 million just on X. It just hit me again. It comes in waves. personally really excited to see all the security features, because the first time he was walking in the parade, there was a Secret Service agent with a fake arm, with his real arm concealed in his jacket. So I'm just very interested to see what's going on. I'm going to be analyzing every move. Is that Chuck Schumer? I'm surprised they're letting photographers get that close to the beast and take pictures inside like that. I was watching videos on this. The beast, that armored car, 5-inch thick glass, 8-inch thick armor. It's carrying blood transfusions inside with Trump's blood type. It has, it can deploy smoke devices, and it has an armored plate floor and armored plate top. And it's built on the chassis of a huge truck. It's not a normal car chassis, even though it looks like a Cadillac. Look how thick that door is. I bet he's not going to get out this time, or if he does, it might be very briefly, but I hope he stays inside. I'm sure it has other capabilities too that nobody knows about, that I don't know about, that aren't disclosed to the public, but that's a brief rundown that I know of it. Armored's about 8-inch thick, glass is 5-inch thick. It's obviously all bulletproof. I wonder if he already has the football, the nuclear football, since he's technically the president, or if not yet. He probably does for sure. I wonder what it's like for him to be back in the beast officially. Here we go. The Trump family is arriving at the parade. The indoor parade, considering that, you know, it's too cold outside and Trump wants to keep people safe. They're chanting Barron's name. That's cool. That's really cool. I wonder if he's ever had people chant his name before. I bet that's pretty special. 15 million people watching. Trump is going to sign his first executive orders in a stadium. It's like a show. It's like he's putting on entertainment, except he's saving the country. It's unprecedented. Very cool. Dude, the love and support must be amazing for these people to feel because their family's been prosecuted, persecuted. They've tried to put them in jail, bankrupt them, and they just emerge victorious, standing tall and immaculate over those who can't stand masculinity and objective reality. They emerged victorious. The left can't stand this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome the official fanfare music group of the President of the United States. Under the direction of Major Aaron Morris, the U.S. Army Band Herald Trumpets performing their fanfare that's actually written for the 47th President of the United States. Listen to this, it's amazing. This is Brass and Glory.
These guys are good. These guys are really good. Those guys are really good.
The official fanfare music group of the President of the United States under the direction of Major Aaron Morris. Let's hear it for them, folks. Brass and Glory. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 50th Vice President of the United States of America, Vice President J.D. Vance, accompanied by the Second Lady, Mrs. Usha Vance.
Here it is. They're coming. So epic, dude. Look at how loved our movement is. That's awesome. So much more beautiful than liberal women, I just gotta say, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 47th President of the United States of America,
Here we go.
Donald J. Trump, accompanied by the First Lady, Mrs. Melania Trump.
Dude, this is crazy. He's got the executive orders in a 3-ring binder, and he's walking down to the floor with it. He's gonna sign it in front of the crowd. So awesome. He is going to make illegal alienship illegal in front of 15 million people, live streamed on his X profile, owned on a platform by Elon Musk. Oh my gosh, bro. Best timeline ever. He's about to mandate the deportation of illegal aliens in front of a crowd. Are you not entertained? Bro, they didn't even do this in Rome. They've never done this before. This is special. There's the desk where he's gonna sign it. Dude, this is historic. I might put this at the beginning of the video. If you're watching this right now, this is crazy. Be sure to keep watching because I do a full analysis and reaction to him being sworn in. It's very emotional. But this is crazy. There's literally a desk and a chair. This is so cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present a selection of participants for the 2025 Presidential Inaugural Parade.
Cool. We got the army. Let's go. That's beautiful. Yes. While the left slandered him and gleefully celebrated in the death of an innocent man, we honor him. It's good versus demons, and good won.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heroes of Butler County are here. And they are here to pay homage to the life, selfless community service, and sacrifice of Corey Comparatori. Mr. Comparatori, a 10-year U.S. Army Reserve veteran and past fire chief to the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company, who died during the assassination attempt on the life of President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, July 13th, 2024. Their formation consists of Pennsylvania State Police, local police, county sheriffs, emergency services unit, EMS, 911 radio dispatch, and hospital personnel, who all heroically stepped into action during the horrific attack. They are also paying tribute to the courageous service of first responders nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, at this very special event, let us now take a moment of silence in honor of Corey Comparatori. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Marine Corps. I think. Yeah, it's Marine Corps. I think. Their uniforms are that shade of green, I think. Or maybe not.
We now present to you the New York Military Academy from Cornwall-on-Hudson, New York. New York Military Academy stands out due to its unique connection to the president himself. President Trump is a 1964 graduate and has been enshrined as one of our alumni of distinction. This historic academy has been named the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, that's JROTC, and are marching with their cadet dress uniforms. Look at these, all modeled after post-World War I General Blackjack Pershing's gray uniform. Introducing the Palm Beach Police and Fire Honor Guard unit, representing the town of Palm Beach, Florida. This group consists of police officers and firefighters from the town of Palm Beach, home to some of the most prestigious people in the world, including President Donald J. Trump.
better than if it was outside because they get to march in front of Trump, and everyone gets to see the banners. So this is good. New York Police Department. All right.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the NYPD Emerald Society Pipes and Drums from New York City. They have performed internationally in Ireland, Canada, Australia, Germany, and Switzerland. And as of this past December, the band has had the distinct honor to perform at the 75th commemoration of the attack on Pearl Harbor in Oahu, Hawaii. The band has also played for hospitalized children, military veterans, as well as the 1980 and 2005 presidential inaugural parades, and His Holiness Pope John Paul II. The band has performed in countless parades, community and sporting events, as well as competitions. They have also always qualified for the Ohio Music Educators Association state finals for 23 years straight. How about that? And have earned the highest rating in 18 of those appearances. Woo! And today they performed America's Sweet Land of Liberty. And while they cheer here in the arena, let's cheer for him again, folks, from our VP hometown, Middletown High School Marching Band.
I get to introduce my dear friend and the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. So now the work begins. We won, but now the work begins. We have to bring them home. And you know, tonight I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages, pardons.
Yes.
To get them out.
Yes.
And as soon as I leave, I'm going to the Oval Office and we'll be signing pardons for a lot of people. A lot of people.
That's right.
And thank you to Steve Witkoff. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. He's been a very successful man. He's a great negotiator. He's a wonderful guy. People love him. And he's got a tremendous power of persuasion. And that's what we need. We don't need stiffs. We don't need stiffs. We got a lot of stiffs. You just had a whole load of them. And to the former hostages with us today, welcome. Welcome home. Some of the folks are former hostages. Not a good situation. The three young ladies that came home yesterday, you saw that. They're more coming home every day now. They're coming home. But they were hurt. They were hurt. They were hurt. One had her head blown off, fingers on her hand, and her hand indeed was blown off. She was trying to defend herself from a bullet being fired. You believe this? A bullet knocked off her hand. I don't know. You look at it, it's a disgrace. We never stopped praying for you, and we're so glad that you're reunited with your friends and families, and God bless you all. And some of them are just saying, no, my son is gone. But please just bring home his body, right, Steve? Many of you have told me that your son is gone, but bring home his body. It should have never happened. 3 years, it's ridiculous. Should have never happened. Wouldn't have happened. I also want to express my tremendous gratitude to the hundreds of thousands of proud American patriots who came from all across the country to join us in this celebration. It's a celebration of a big win.
Humanity was saved. Humanity was literally saved.
And you're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America. That's what it's going to be. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back fast. Let us also thank the incredible service members, National Guardsmen, Police, Secret Service, and law enforcement personnel who are keeping us all safe, even though they are great people. New York's finest. I grew up with New York's finest, and we got to give them their authority back. You won't have any crime. There'll be no crime. You give them little authority back. The whole way they run things in this country now, it's disgraceful. But it's going to change rapidly. We're going to make our cities safe again, too. Even though we're indoors, we've had a magnificent inaugural parade. And let's give a big round of applause. They were great. To all of the incredible performers and hardworking men and women who made it possible. Those people, Really talented, amazing people. I also want to thank my wonderful family for being here, especially my beautiful wife, our First Lady, Melania. I love our First Lady. And also, JD. How good has JD been? And his beautiful wife, Usha. How good is JD? JD has been great. He's another good negotiator, Steve. He's a great negotiator, too. We need negotiators in this country. But so many of the people on the stage behind, not only family members, as an example, Lara Trump, the wife of Eric. She was the head of the Republican Party, along with my friend Michael. Stand up, the two of you. What a job. What a job they did. They worked so hard. They knew they'd be rigging, but they said, we're going to make it too big to rig, and we did. We made it too big to rig. We won every swing state by a lot. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won the whole ball of wax. And now we're going to go and drill, baby, drill, and do all the things that we've wanted to do and bring your costs down, your prices down, and make our country safe. So thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much. What a job you've done, Michael. I'm never moving you, you know. He was thinking about getting a nice job in the administration. I said, no, I'm leaving you right where you are. You've done a very good job. We're not moving you, Michael. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Right here with us also in the arena, I'm about to sign some very important executive orders of our new administration. Hey, Don, will you stand up, please? Don is another one. How about Don? This guy. He's a popular one. He goes out and speaks. He gets a big crowd. He's a little on the rough side sometimes, but that's what you want. He's done a fantastic job, and he loves our country. Thanks, Don. Great job. You've done a great job. And Ivanka. And you know, Jared negotiated the Abraham Accords, which are the biggest, it's the biggest deal made in the Middle East in many, many years, and it's really something. Jared, stand up, Jared. The Abraham Accords. And Tiffany's going to have a little baby. And Mark. And then I have a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him? Thank you. He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did, and Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right, Darren? They were all good. He understood the market. Another famous one, how about Kai? Stand up, Kai.
His granddaughter.
Is that Byron Donalds back there? Stand up, Byron. Stand up. What a future this one has. What a future. That's great, Byron. Thank you very much. And how about Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce? He's going to take in more money than any country has ever even thought about. He's going to take in some money. And we have many others. Look, I'm not going to go through it, but we're going to sign some orders right now, and that's really what I want to do. So we're going to sign executive orders. First, I'll revoke nearly 80 destructive and radical executive actions of the previous administration, one of the worst administrations in history. Not one of them, the worst. Anybody that would allow millions of people to pour through our borders from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members to be taken off the streets of Venezuela and deposited in our country, and many, not just Venezuela. You know, crime in Venezuela is down 74% because they took their criminals and gave them to us through an open border policy of the previous administration. All over the world, they're emptying their prisons into our country. They're emptying their mental institutions into our country. It stops as of 1 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, it stops. So I'm revoking nearly 80 destructive, radical executive actions of the previous administration. They'll all be null and void within about, what, 5 minutes? Is that them over there? 5 minutes? And next, to gain immediate control of the vast federal, out-of-control bureaucracy, I will implement an immediate regulation freeze which will stop Biden bureaucrats from continuing to regulate. Most of those bureaucrats are being fired. They're gone.
Yes.
Should be all of them, but some sneak through, but we have to live with a couple, I guess. I'll also issue a temporary hiring freeze to ensure that we're only hiring competent people who are faithful to the American public. And we will pause the hiring of any new IRS agents. We will also require that federal workers must return to the office in person.
Good. That's Elon Musk
We're going to take the 88,000 people that they hired to go after you with guns. By the way, they're allowed to use guns and harass you like they were so many other people. Remember this. Okay, remember? Do you remember a little statement about tips? Does anybody remember that little statement? I think we won Nevada because of that statement. But they went out and harassed you over the tips. In other words, we are restoring control of our government to the people. We're going to take those 88,000. Let's see if they'd like to work on the border, because that's where we want them really involved. So we're going to have no tax on tips, right? No tax on tips.
Literally following through with his promises immediately.
We may have, like the Speaker of the House. Is he here? He's done such a good job. Is Mike here? He's around here someplace. I saw him just a little while ago. Hello, fellas. Look at you guys. Yeah, I know it. He's great. He's doing great. They're all doing good. The Republican Party has never been unified like it is right now. They want to save our country. And we're going to more than save it. We're going to make it greater than it's ever been before by a lot. Next, I'm going to sign a presidential memorandum directing every member of my cabinet to marshal every power at their disposal to defeat inflation and rapidly bring down the cost of daily life, because your costs have gone through the roof in the last 4 years. Perhaps you didn't notice. Does anyone notice their costs are like double, triple, quadruple? You can't buy bacon. Apples have doubled in price. You want an apple, anybody? Pay twice what you did 2 years ago. We'll put more money in your pocket, and we'll bring back the American dream and to reduce energy costs and liberate our economy so we have more oil and gas than any country in the world, and we're going to use it. We're not going to do the wind thing. Wind. Big, ugly windmills, they ruin your neighborhood, they ruin you. If you have a house that's near a windmill, guess what? Your house is worth less than half. And did you see up in New England with the whales? You see what's happening? So they had 2 whales killed in about 14 years. Last year and the year before, total, they had 28. So if you're into whales, you don't want windmills either. And they're the most expensive form of energy that you can have by far. And they're all made in China, by the way, practically all of them. And they kill your birds and they ruin your beautiful landscapes. But other than that, I think they're quite good, right? Now, remember when we used to joke and kid, when we were kidding, but we don't kid anymore? They want to watch the debates on television. They want to watch your favorite president on television. But the wind isn't blowing, so we can't watch television that night, Gladys. Remember? Gladys, I'm sorry, the wind is just not blowing. We're not watching Trump tonight. But I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff.
Dude, let's go. Let's go.
The United States will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes with impunity. You know, China, I mean, look, they use a lot of dirty energy, but they produce a lot of energy. And when that stuff goes up in the air, you know, it doesn't stay there. It's not like you got a wall. We love walls, don't we? Not like you have a wall around and it doesn't. It floats into the United States of America after 3.5 to 5.5 days. It floats across the oceans and it comes right over your neighborhood and it falls into your neighborhood. So they all say, we have to fight for cleaner air, but the other dirty air is dropping all over us. So what the hell are they talking about? Unless everybody does it, it just doesn't work. You know, we had the cleanest air and the cleanest water that this country's ever had under the Trump administration, and we didn't do anything to stop jobs and stop production. Believe me, you're going to see a lot of companies come pouring back because tariffs. I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary. And I was reprimanded by the fake news. They said, what about love, religion, and God? I said, I agree. Let's put God number 1. Let's put religion number 2. Love, I don't know. We got to put that number 3, I guess, right? And then it's tariff. Because tariffs are going to make us rich as hell. It's going to bring our country's businesses back that left us. And I'll also sign an executive order to immediately end federal government censorship of the American people. In America, we believe in free speech.
Thank you.
And we're bringing it back starting today.
Yes.
To stop the weaponization. Oh, do I know about that? These creeps. Deranged Jack Smith. You ever hear of him? Deranged. He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me. He's now been reduced to getting on an airplane, going back to The Hague or wherever the hell he came from. We got to get rid of that guy. Hey, was he one of the many people that got a pardon today? Did they pardon Jack Smith? You know, did you know that Biden, while I was making my speech, pardoned his whole family? The brother.
That's insane.
The whole deal was pardoned. Can you imagine that? While I was making my speech. Did everybody hear my speech? Did you like my speech? Thank you. I mean, the only thing wrong with it is I had a lot of tough things to say, and I have some great people that work for me. Sir, this is such a great speech. It's so unifying. Don't talk about Biden with his pardons of his family. We want a unified country. They said, don't talk about the J6 hostages that you're going to be releasing today. Sir, don't put that in your speech, please. I said, but I want to put it in my speech. They said, sir, it won't be unified like it is. It's so beautiful the way it is. And it is getting great reviews. You know, if I put things like that in, I'll get terrible reviews. One little paragraph that's a little bit wrong, the fake news goes crazy, right? So I said, all right, I won't put it in my speech, but you know what? I'm speaking in front of a hell of a lot of people at a place called Capital One Arena, and I'll talk about it there. So we're going to be going over to the beautiful Oval Office, one of the great offices in history. Even if it wasn't beautiful, it's the Oval Office, but it is beautiful. And we love the Oval Office. It all starts with the wars start and end there. Everything starts and ends at the Oval Office. We love it. But we're going to go to the Oval Office. We're going to release our great hostages that didn't do, for the most part, they didn't do stuff wrong. You take a look at what went on, and look what happens in other parts of the country. In Portland, where they kill people, they destroy the city, nothing happens to them. In Seattle, where they took over a big chunk of the city, nothing happened. Minneapolis, where they burned down the city, nothing happened. Essentially nothing happened. All they want to do is go after the J6 hostages. A 76-year-old grandmother was arrested the other day because she was looking at the Capitol or something like that. No, we're not going to put up with that crap anymore. And to stop the weaponization of law enforcement, I've been investigated more than any human being in the world. I believe I have the all-time record. Every day a subpoena. Every single day we get subpoenas. I was more than any person. Alphonse Capone, remember I used to talk about it? Now, Alphonse Capone, Scarface, he was a pretty rough guy. He was investigated about 1/100th what Trump was investigated. My father's looking down at me, my mother, how the hell did this happen? You know what it is? They investigated their political opponent, the opponent of Biden, and then ultimately Kamala. Has anyone ever heard of Kamala?
Communism and incompetence personified. The degenerate feminine psyche.
We had to beat two opponents. You know, we had to beat Biden, then we beat him. Now he goes to the top. The guy was like 39 points down. I think I could have beaten Trump. They should have left me and I would have beaten. Now, his debate performance wasn't the best, right? That's what killed him. And then they had a change, and that's like you get into a fight. The great Dana White spoke last night. We love Dana White, right? UFC. That's like he puts in two fighters. One of them's getting creamed, getting really beaten, and they say, all right, take him out. Let's put somebody else in to finish up the fight. That's what they did to us. They gave us somebody new, but we took care of both of them. So we beat actually two opponents. But to stop the weaponization of law enforcement and our government, I will also sign an order directing every federal agency to preserve all records pertaining to political persecutions under the last administration, of which there were many, and beginning the process of exposing any and all abuses of power, even though he's pardoned many of these people. Can you believe it? He's pardoned them. You know why he did it while I was speaking? Because that way I couldn't speak about it. I was speaking. I didn't know he did it. I finished my speech, and they said, sir, he pardoned his whole family. I said, ooh, can I go back out there and talk about it? Somehow that wouldn't be very elegant. Our First Lady would say, please don't do that. But we have plenty of time to talk about it, and we will. We're doing all of this on our very first day in office. You know, don't forget, we've been in this position, really, where we won the primaries in record time. We were the fastest win of a primary ever in political history, which is a very nice thing. It's nice to know. Well, the second election was rigged, so we knew we were doing well. And if it wasn't, you know what? If it wasn't, I would have never run. But this third one was just a monster. Boy, was that a big one, huh? That was a big one. When the second one, we got like 10 or 12 million votes more than the first one. How about that? We did great on the first one. We did much better on the second one. But bad did we do well on the third one. So we're gonna have some fun. It's very simple. We're gonna make our country great. We're gonna make our country great again. We're gonna make America great again. How good a name is MAGA, though, right? You know? I was going to say keep America great, but unfortunately it wasn't great. Can't say keep it great. It will be great again. But CAG, keep America great, CAG, I don't think it's ever going to replace MAGA. Does anybody like CAG? I don't think so. It's never replacing MAGA. Nothing will ever replace MAGA. MAGA was the most successful political operation, political movement in the history of our country, maybe in the history of the world. Let's see what happens. Because we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. We got a long way to go. But we're doing this on the very first day in office, and in just a few moments, I'm not only signing the release of the J6 hostages, I'm signing other things that you're going to love. Oh, you're going to be happy reading newspapers tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So I just want to thank, I mean, look at this place. It's full to the rafters. You don't have any, look at those people up there. You don't have any empty seats. And by the way, the Capital One owners, they are so good. We got to root for their teams because they have been so great to MAGA, to us. And I just want to thank Ted and everybody. You guys have been fantastic. And the ice hockey team's doing great. Ovechkin's pretty good, right? They're doing great. So I want to thank them, Capital One arena owners. They have been absolutely fantastic. And thank you once again to everyone. And I can only tell you, you're going to be very happy. You're going to watch a lot of good things happen. We got to stop some wars that are happening and going on. Some stupid things are happening. The war with Ukraine would have never happened, and it has. As you know, Israel would have never been hit on October 7th, and none of you would be up here. None of you would even know anything about this tragedy that you're going through right now. But Iran was broke. Anybody that bought oil from Iran, they couldn't do any business with us. You're not going to do business with America. China passed, everybody passed, they were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas, they didn't have money for Hezbollah. And your sons would be alive, and they certainly wouldn't be incarcerated like they are. It's a shame, but we're getting a lot of people out in a short period of time. So I'm going to go right over to here, and I'm going to sign in front of you. Is that okay? Good.
Dude, this is so insane. Understand that you're about to witness an alpha male billionaire in an arena, in a stadium, make illegal immigrants deported in front of a crowd. This is so cool. To a screaming, cheering crowd in an arena, in a stadium. One of the most competent billionaires of Earth is going to ensure illegal immigrants are deported. This is the reality that we live in, where competent masculinity has crushed the head of the serpent, being degenerate femininity and the war on category and coherence and law. Shaking hands of maidens, going to sit down to enforce objective parameters. This has never happened before. Bro, this has never happened before.
78 Biden-era EOs and presidential memoranda.
You want to go over that? Do you want to say it? Do you want to say it?
Oh, if you want me to, sir.
Why don't you say what I'm signing?
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others.
Dude, literally in an arena. This is our reality. This is so epic. Oh my gosh. My voice is going hoarse because I've just been yelling for so much of the day. In an arena and a stadium, literally taking power away from the left.
The
and you're
second
watching
item,
it.
President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration.
I want to get to the one where he's deporting people. I want to see that.
Thank you, sir.
This is so epic.
The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Fantastic. No more DEI. No more pathetic anti-meritocratic hiring.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
This is so cool.
Sir, the next item,
He's
as you
literally in a
announced in
stadium.
your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Incredible. Incredible.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly.
The left is in shambles. This is so epic.
Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Thank you, sir.
I'm tweeting about this.
This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.
Yo, that was savage. That was so savage. That was so savage.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Pretty fun job.
That was so cool. That was actually epic. That's never happened before. A president in a stadium to thundering applause, signing executive orders to end corruption and lawfare. Incredible. I'm just in awe of what just happened. The greatest political comeback of all time just happened, and an alpha masculine billionaire president who was elected against all odds just signed executive orders in a stadium in front of roaring crowds while 20 million people watched. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. I mean, obviously I knew we'd beat them, but I didn't realize we destroyed them to this extent. This is next level. Trump is a G. Trump is the most impressive person alive. The world's changed. I'm no longer afraid to basically just support Trump out in the open here in California. You know, it's most people, I don't know, I think a lot of people actually agree with me here. But either way, they don't have a choice. They have to accept reality, popular vote, the mandate, and now power's in our hands too. I'm going to get this out to you guys because, oh my gosh, man. I hope we see the immediate effect of enforcing free speech, because that's a big one for me. And this channel is enormously censored. The other thing I'm looking forward to is seeing the deportations happen, which is definitely going to be going on around where I live, because there's a lot of illegal immigrants in LA. And I think I'm going to end the video here because my voice is extremely hoarse and it's difficult to talk. I've been screaming all day. I appreciate all of you. Subscribe to the channel. Click the link in the description. I'll see you tomorrow. We did it.